I'm Dante.
I'm Cait.
And welcome back to the Hyperactivity Podcast.
Where we talk about anything and everything.
And in today's episode,
Exes.
we're talking about our exes.
And we'll definitely be reading some Reddit stories or like silly little stories.
Yeah.
Because personally, I do not have that many stories.
I don't have a lot of
that I can
stories,
that
but
I can remember.
I think mine are just like good stories.
Yeah.
Not bad,
I just have like one story that's kind of funny, and that's all.
Okay. Well, if you wanted to, let's recap last episode.
Yeah.
Last episode, we played Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader and had some silly little drinks.
Got a little tipsy.
Got a little tipsy.
And played some games. It was really fun. I enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun.
And next time we'll be having a meter and counting how many times I say.
Did you like the edits I made in it?
Yeah.
Did you think they were funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked it.
I was editing them at like 2 a.m. and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of funny.
No, it was funny. I liked it.
Yeah. It's like every episode, it's like, hello?
It's always my cat. I think we've said it before. We're in my basement, and my cats will get the zoomies in the living room, which is right above us. So they'll be like, ah!
Tornadoes.
And then we're just like, that's why we're like, earthquake!
Yeah.
Except last time my mom was pounding chicken. So.
Yeah. And the time before that, Trey was running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you would like to, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I've only ever had like one ex, and then the others have just been like long ass talking stages.
Yeah.
Literally that. But no. So the only one that I'm gonna talk about, it was just like my first ever like hookup. Like not the like virginity. Not getting into that. But okay. So like I had only ever had one boyfriend, and I guess this was like a couple months after, or like it was probably like a year and a half after we broke up, and I was talking to one guy, and then I had this other guy. I was like, one was more down than the other, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I had never had like one of those like random hookups. I've never done like a Tinder hookup.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been nervous because I don't know. The idea of just like meeting someone completely random that you've never met before.
Oh, yeah.
And then just like having sex with them.
Especially these days where it's
What?
like people are like...
I'm not downing it at all. If it works for you, you go, queen.
Exactly.
Slay.
But also...
Slay the night.
People are crazy
But yeah,
these days.
and you don't know what situation you're going to get yourself into.
Why am I going to let somebody murder me just because I want to have sex? Like,
Exactly.
That's so stupid.
Luckily, I didn't get murdered. Luckily, nothing bad happened, actually.
You're just
Seriously.
a ghost. I'm
Yeah.
just podcasting with a ghost.
Guys, this is my coming out video. I am a ghost. No, but so nothing bad happened, luckily. But basically, like I said, I had never had like one of those like Tinder hookups, and I don't know. I was just like, I want to experience this because like my friend at the time, she was doing it, and then like all my other friends had like kind of been doing it. I don't know how old I was. I think I was like, okay, I definitely was like probably should not have been doing it at my age, at the age. I wasn't that young, okay? I will say this straight. This was probably like 2 years ago, okay? I'm 19. Sue me! So, like I said, it had been a while since I had been with my ex, and I was like, just like really been a long time. It had been a while, if you know what I'm saying, and I was like, all right, I gotta do this. So, I used this app. I swear you'll probably know what it is. It was basically like a teenage dating app, but it wasn't. What was it called? You definitely, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
What was it called? It was like, it was a
Yellow?
teen. Yes.
Yubo.
Yubo. I was gonna
Yubo.
say Tubi or something, but that's a streaming service. No,
That
Yubo.
That fucked up the
Super
Super.
No, but so I used Yubo, and that's where I met a majority of my
First of all,
talking stages.
I don't understand that because like when I was on Yuba, I'd meet people from like California and Arizona. I'm like,
No, because I was looking for a man's. I was looking for a man's,
You were
and
determined.
I was determined, and I.
It was all the rave when COVID started.
No, it
was
definitely
this, like,
was.
brand new app. It was
This
like,
well,
meet
I
new
think
friends.
I used it. No, it wasn't. This wasn't COVID. I used Yubo. It was like. Because I think Yubo had been out for a while, and I had been using it, not like a while, but I started using it in probably like 2018-ish, because my best friend at the time used it, and then I was like, okay, because she found a guy on there, and I was like, okay, let's see what it's about. So, anyway, so the guy that I went with, that I hooked up with, came from this app, and I had known him for like 2 years, but like I never talked to him because like I talked to him a little bit, and then I got a boyfriend, and then he texted me while I was with my boyfriend. I was like, I have a boyfriend. But then that boyfriend ended up being
Shitty.
the worst. Not the worst, but like he just obviously wasn't a great guy. And then he texted me after, and I was like, or no, he never texted me. So yeah, he waited. I guess he was waiting for me to text him after I broke up with my boyfriend.
He wanted you to do
I
the
guess
texting.
so. So I think it was like I said, it was like maybe like a year and a half. And I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm single now. And it's been a while. It's been a while. So, so he was like, okay, I'll pick you up at like 11. It was on a school night. And that was for me. Okay, so for me to
I know who you're talking about.
For me to be doing this stuff, like on a school night, was insane. And leaving at my house at like 11.
There's nights that I couldn't leave my house past like 8.
Yeah. Well,
like,
not that. Like, but like it would be just be sus. And it was like for me, because I had like a strict routine in high school. Like I went to bed at a certain time. I put my phone down at like 10. Or not my phone down. Like I would lay down at 10, and then I would just like be on my phone until like 11, and then go to bed. So whenever this happened, I just told my parents, I was like, okay, hey, I was like, my friend at the time, I was like, hey, Lisa. I'm like, Lisa's coming to get me. And then they were like, okay. Like, and I'm like, yeah, we're just going to go to Sheetz. We're probably just going to hang out at her house. And then I think it was snowing, so we might have not, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it was a good excuse.
Yeah.
Because, like, we did that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure it was snowing out, so we either had, like, a 2-hour delay the next day or no school. And, because I think this ended up being, like, kind of COVID-y times or, like, something like that, because
like
I think...
around or before?
I can't remember. Oh, no, it was definitely after. It was definitely, like, whenever COVID first, like,
Was
began.
it when we still worked together?
I think so.
Because I remember you telling me about this. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I broke up with my ex
Yeah,
the
and then
month
you
after I
texted
started
me.
at...
Yeah, and then you texted. This was like...
Or not.
This was a few...
Bleep that out, future Dante. Bleep that out.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
At a local grocery
At
store.
our local grocery store.
No, yeah, this was definitely... We knew each other because I remember you being like, hey, girl. And I was like... While I think you should, I was like, you shouldn't. But I was like, honestly, it's up to you. Because you went to...
Yeah. It was...
Right?
40 minutes... Leave that out.
Yeah.
It was like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
It was... So, I'm in like a suburb of our city. We've said that we're from Pittsburgh.
We're from Pittsburgh.
So, he went to a local college... And
I go to a local school. That was just so funny.
He goes to one of the schools around here, and I was like, okay, so that's enough time for me to go and like just say like I'm at Lisa's house,
if
right?
you say you're going to Sheetz, it's just like
So it all worked out, and so he pulls up, but of course he was in like one of those like he was like a car guy. So he had like a loud.
Was he in like a Mustang or something?
No, it was like one of those nice Subarus. Like
nice Subarus.
No, because there are like Subarus
with the fins
that are like
on the back and shit.
I guess so. I don't know anything about cars. He had like bass. He had like it was like a shifter, whatever. Because when we were in the car, he did that, and then he was like, "Do you want to?" He's like, "You want to drive stick?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I put my hand on, it, and then he was like, and I was like, he was so grubby. I'm sorry, he was so grubby. And then, the worst part of it all, the worst part is that we didn't even do anything yet. We didn't even get to his room. And whenever we get there, we get out of the car, and he realizes how much taller I am than him, and he's like, oh, shit.
Insecurity.
Oh!
That's red flag.
I'm sorry if that was so loud.
That's red flag number 2. No. Okay. Circling back on the car thing.
So many red flags. So many red flags.
Circling back on the car thing. Nothing against car people, because I'd consider myself like a beginner car person. Because it's like, I love my car. I take care of it. I mean, normal people stuff, right? But just being like, I don't know. I feel like there's like a cockiness to it where it's like, oh my God, I drive stick. I'm like, good for you. Okay. And I got this, I got that. I'm like, it's a fucking car. Stop making your car your personality trait. Like, I'm sorry your life is so boring they have to make something you drive your personality trait.
No,
Like I said, nothing against car people. There's some really nice car people that I met, but in the most part, I feel like car people are kind of just assholes.
The ones that have their @ on their car.
Oh my God, the ones that have like the fucking...
And let me tell you, he had an @ symbol. He had his @ on his car.
No.
And
you know what?
His Snapchat.
You know what ticks me more?
How scary.
You know what ticks me more is people that have like the Honda sticker on the top of their windshield.
Oh, come on.
Like, that's so like annoying to me. It's so ugly for
It is.
I swear people
Such
have like
eyesore.
no taste.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, fair and good taste. People like what people like, right? But it's just like,
yeah.
First of all, you're driving the car. That's covering like what, like a fourth of your windshield.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, girl,
right.
How are you supposed to see anything out of that?
Right.
And then people with the tint, it's like, why? Like, I'd understand like if you have a black car and tinting it to like not let sunshine in, whatever. But it's like, people are like, I'm gonna get 5% tint, and I'm thinking of one person. I used to work with him, and I'm just like, why? And then he ended up wrecking his car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'll let you continue. Sorry.
No, you're okay. But so whenever, like I said, we get there, we pull up, get out of the car, first red flag, kind of shits me when he sees my height, right?
Insecure.
Because I think I've been 5'10". I have been grown for a couple years now, so I've been 5'10" for a while, and I guess he was probably like 5'8", 5'7" ish.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So me and you, basically.
Yeah. And so we walk in, and like we weren't even like walking together. It was me just like following him, like we weren't talking.
Ew.
It was just like me following him to his room, like
awkward.
I was like a hooker or something.
Oh my God,
so
I hate that. It's like, I hate when people treat you like, first of all, being a piece of meat, but then also it's like there's no dignity in it. It's like why do you have to make it this like awkward thing?
Yeah, and like I mean, like I guess I get like it is kind of like
awkward
to
in
be
that
like
situation.
But like also like like we aren't like there to like be friends or anything. Like you like that's what I feel like random hookups are like. That's why like
thing. It's just like
I feel like that's why like if you get like a friends with benefits, that would
it's different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still awkward. I think. Like I wouldn't want that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's
I could never.
Like if you have a friendship and then
I could never. I get attached too easily.
Kind of turns into it. Like
I get way too attached.
I feel like there's a fork that can go two ways. Either a friendship becomes a relationship, or a friendship just stays a friendship. Mm-hmm. I don't think that there should be like a third line crossing through where it's like we're best friends, but we also fuck low key. I'm like, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah,
like that's just it's just like weird to me. It's like, how are you gonna be friends with somebody but then like also kind of fuck them? It's like just hook up with somebody or just date somebody. And if you like each other, just become a couple. Like, I
right?
hate that.
No,
like,
right?
Especially people who don't want to label things. I'm like, I'm all for labels and not labeling, right? But it's like, don't give yourself this, like, false narrative that it's like, we're friends, but we fuck. I'm like, just say you're in a relationship then. Because that's literally a relationship.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to look and see if I can find... Because when I was there, I did take a video of just me in the room. Just
I remember that.
I'll explain why.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look for evidence currently.
Evidence.
Oh, so this was like... Might have been 21.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. I was going to say, because we definitely... If it was early 21, because I left Bleep in... May, the old supermarket.
Mm-hmm. So basically, like I said, it was just me following him to his car, or him to his car. It was me following him into his room, and then we get in his room, and it's just like kind of talking to him, being like, "Oh, like, do you want a drink or something?" And me being like, "Yeah, sure." And then
listen, if you're there, you might as well.
Yeah, and then there was like a guitar, and I get like he played guitar, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Yeah, I play guitar, whatever, like, you know, whatever." And so I was sitting. Okay, so he was in a dorm, and so I was sitting on his bed. So this is me. No, it's not. I was going to say, on the videos back, you can't even hear people, like, whenever there's really, sounds up there, you can't even hear it, but we're just like,
you can keep talking. I'm just fixing my shoulders.
But, so here, like, here's his bed, here's the roommate's bed, so it's me on his bed.
Oh, God, it was a double room.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But no, his roommate wasn't there. His roommate wasn't there.
That's still, no, it's like, I
yeah.
don't care what anybody says. If they fucking, like, come in, no, done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I think he was like on a vacation or something, but
still.
yeah.
You never know.
But yeah, so it was me sitting on his bed, and then the guy sitting on his roommate's bed, which mind you was like probably, I'm trying to figure out, like, probably the length of like this couch. Like, I'm over here, he was over there type beat.
Dorm room. Like
yeah. Like that far apart.
Like Google dorm room.
Like, it was just like so like far, and he was like playing the guitar, and it was, oh my God.
What did he play?
It was that one. It was like a love type song. It was like a slow like guitar like love song. It was like either like just say you won't like. No, it wasn't that song. The
Did he sing too?
I'll bring you coffee when, or like in the morning. Oh. And he was singing. Yes, he was singing to me.
Yeah, that's the same song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was some song.
Was it good or was it bad? It was bad.
It was some. He was playing guitar. I'll tell you, he was strumming a guitar.
I will tell you,
making some sounds.
If a man ever did that to me, I would call the police and say, "He's right here, officer."
It went on for like 10 minutes too,
but
and then after, no.
What's like the thing in guys' minds that think that's like seductive? It's like you're not
right.
You're not,
no, because I'm literally just sitting there like, are we gonna do this?
You're like, yeah, I'll take a double shot of vodka with a lime.
I'm like, what are we doing? But so then after his little guitar solo, he was then like, okay, I'm going to go shower. I'll put something on for you. And he puts on Harley Quinn. I personally am not into that. If you're into that,
okay,
you go, queen. But
I will say the showering is a green flag.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, I'm not complaining that he showered, but I was just like, couldn't have showered like before you got me?
Yeah, that's
you couldn't have showered
like,
before?
Well, see, for me, like, okay, if I was the guy, I'd be like, you want to take a shower together? Like, you know what I mean?
And that's
like,
that was the other thing. I was like, and he just said, he's just like, I'm going to go shower. Probably because I was tall, and it's just like...
Also, maybe he didn't want you to see his bathroom. Because you can tell the type of man.
No, I stayed away from the bathroom. I was so scared to go in there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I was so scared I did not go in.
You're like, I'll pee anywhere else.
well, I guess I just pissed on the floor. Piss on the floor.
It's like those things. It's like, instead of fucking playing me like fucking Jason Derulo on the guitar, like fucking say, yeah, hey, you want to take a shower? I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
Oh my
so he puts on like Harley Quinn or whatever, and then goes showers, comes back, just laying in bed for another like 10 minutes, and then, happens, whatever. And then he takes me home. And on the way home, the worst part of it all, I'm asking, he's like, what do you want to listen to? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, at the time I was like, you want some, like, you got some Megan Thee Stallion? And he's like, who's that?
He really said that.
He said, who's that? Girl, what? What?
Do you know his name? I can believe it. I can believe it.
Yeah.
Ew. What year was he?
I think your age.
Oh, so he was... So I'm going to be a junior, so...
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, he doesn't know who Megan is. He didn't know, like...
Was he, like, attractive at all? Or was it kind of just like, yeah, he's alright?
I hooked up with him because I know no one would know what he looked like. And no one would know what happened.
Fair point.
And that's all that matters.
Now everybody
Yeah, no, everyone knows, but no one knows what he looks like.
It's something
no, I mean, no, he wasn't like the worst looking guy ever, but it's not like anything. Nothing I would choose like for myself.
Yeah. Now, like looking back on it.
Yeah. Like I like him. I like him blonde hair, blue eyes.
You can. It's something you can laugh at now.
Yeah. No, it was a funny moment. It really was. The whole experience was really funny. Because like I said, we're in the car and he doesn't know who Megan is. He like doesn't know who any of like the mainstream rappers are. So.
Is he the type of person that's like, Tame Impala's underground?
No, he didn't even know that. He was like a country guy.
Ew. I'm sorry, but ew. I
despise. I will say.
Country music.
I have literally I probably have the widest variety of music taste ever because I love me some indie, love me some rock, love me some rap, love me some hip hop, love me some R&B, love me some jazz, love me some classical,
R&B,
love me some country, specifically in the summertime whenever I'm like tanning, but or when I'm at the wave pool.
It's really hard for me to like country music. There's a few songs that
I've been saved by the grace of Southern charm. Got a mouth just like a sailor's and you're like a Hallmark card.
Yeah. Just by looking at me, I think you can like guess my style.
But so at the time I wasn't really into country, so like he was like playing some like Jason Aldean and I was like, Jason Aldean, more like Jason Alween. No. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. No. But you know what he did play? And you know who he did know?
Baby, lock them doors.
Lil Dicky.
Ew.
And you know what song he chose to play for me?
Well fitting.
A 10-minute long song. It was, if I said, like, some people know, because there are some parts of it that I knew from TikTok. It was like, oh, do you fuck with the war? That song?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know about war. Or like something like that. Yeah. That beat and that sound for 10 minutes.
And the fact that
10 minutes?
He didn't even like see that you were disinterested.
He kept, and the cherry on top, he rapped the entire thing, and it wasn't even rap, and he looked at me the entire time. Like, he was, like, driving, and he was just like...
Yeah. I would have jumped out of the car.
And I was just... This was me the entire time.
I would have literally jumped out of the car. I would have jumped out.
Mom, I gotta tell you something I did tonight, and I really regret it.
She's gonna find out.
No, she knows about this.
Oh, she does.
No, I think I told her like the year after it happened. My mom and I are close like that. My mom, I'm so like blessed to have a mom like mine. That's cool just like mom. That she literally like I'm okay to tell her stuff.
Yeah. And she won't judge you.
Yeah, no, and she didn't care. She was just like, okay, just don't do that again. And even because also the fact that I said, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. Never doing that again.
Yeah.
And then luckily, I just had I think another talking stage, and then the talking stage that I ended, and now I'm with my boyfriend. Forever and ever. My hubby. We've been together for 2 years.
Ew, that was gross. Sorry.
You said,
You're
like,
again.
Sorry.
Sorry to the people who gag at gagging.
Yeah, sorry that story was so long. That was like
20 minutes.
20 minutes of a story. So
more.
your turn.
Okay. So
I'm going to eat a little bit.
Should I just tell the big one then?
Yeah.
Might as well get it done with. You can move that just a little bit closer. Because I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Just a little more.
Yeah.
Little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I just don't want people to hear me eating.
Oh, that's fine. That sounds like a them problem.
That
sounds like a they-them problem. Okay.
Sounds like a Caesar problem.
We love pronouns. Pronouns are important. Pronouns are very important. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to tell my big shebang because I've learned a lot from it, and I've had to deal with a lot from it, and I've kind of still feeling the effects of it because it's I associate it more with trauma than I do just like a relationship. But so it started out, I was in 11th grade, and this guy I didn't know who he was. So a week after my birthday.
Was he my grade or younger?
Oh, he's younger. I think he graduates this year. I know.
Oh.
I know. Like, looking back on it, I'm just like, why? But, like, at the time, like, being a young homosexual man and, like, kind of this thing where it's, like, I feel like it's a big thing for the LGBTQ community, especially, like, gay and lesbian people, to be in love with love more than it's just, like, oh, I have a crush on somebody. It's, like, you romanticize and, like, just want to be in love so bad that, like, you'll kind of do or say anything. And it's, like, it's very toxic. And I'm glad that I'm not that person anymore. But, so yeah, I was talking to this guy. I was in 11th grade and he was going into high school when it started. Bad. I know. So bad. But, like I said, I regret everything. I really do. And, you know, it was a life lesson. And, as a fair warning, there was nothing sexual happened. So it was more it was a long-term talking stage. But
yeah, no, it's not like it was any...
Yeah, it wasn't
so you're
anything.
good.
It was a situationship, if anything. But I consider it a relationship because we said I love you. You know what I mean? So, anyways, it was a week after my birthday, April 11th, it was a Friday, April 19th, and I was hanging out with an ex-friend who is a bitch now. Fuck you. You're a horrible person, and I hope you die. Smiles. I was hanging out with her, and I got this DM on my Instagram from this guy. And he was like, hey, man, I like your page, and da-da-da-da. He was kind of like... I don't know if he was, like, flirting, or if he was just kind of, like, trying to associate with me. But he was like, yeah, I like your page, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, hey, cool, you know, what's up? Because it's, like, not many people really, like, DM'd me or talked to me because, you know, I'm the gay guy at school. I was kind of, like, one of the first gay people at our school. And, I didn't like talking, especially, like, sports people, and I don't know, I just, like, the fear of being bullied all the time was really scary to me, and, I usually just hung out with my crew. That's just so stupid. You're fucking up those crackers. They're so good. But yeah, so he DM'd me and was like your page, blah, 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 blah. I don't have the screenshots of it because he deleted it after the whole situation happened, and it was on Instagram, but yeah, and then I was like, he's kind of cool, whatever, you know. It would be, like at the time I was like, oh, it would be nice to like broaden my horizons and be friends with somebody who's going into high school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It like I was still like innocent at that time where I was like, yeah, I guess we can be friends. Da da da. Like I didn't see anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of go to Snap, and then like we talked for a while, just like friend shit. You know what I mean? Like random.
Yeah. Sorry,
like,
I'm still looking for that video.
random messages being like, hey, how was your day? Normal conversations when you start talking to people. So May-ish hits. It was mid to end of May. And it was kind of like, I had known for a little bit that he was kind of subtly flirting with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know, maybe I'm reading this wrong and he's not. So I kind of just like ignored it and was just like stayed like friend-like. You know what I mean? I didn't really like act on it or say anything. And after a while, he just kept doing it. So I was like, okay, maybe he is flirting with me, so I'll just like kind of try it, whatever. So I flirted back. So it was always like subtle flirting.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you just say something like kind of like it's how you interpret it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, oh, you know, we could hang out, da da da, like, and like, one of the conversations, like I hadn't got my license yet, and I was like, you know, when I get my license, maybe we can go grab like food or something. That'll be fun. Cause like, at this point, we had never hung out, and we never did hang out actually. So, yeah, May, end of May was kind of like that. Then going into June, since it's Pride Month, you know, I posted a lot of shit about stuff, and he kind of like would reply to like my stories and stuff on Instagram and be like, oh, that's so cool, ha ha ha, like, you know, stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the time, Snapchat, like the private messages, like where you would post something, you'd be like, say something, and it's like, you know what I mean? And the one time, I do have a screenshot of this. I should have pulled this up, actually. I was so we were like heavily flirting at this time, and I think we both kind of knew that we liked each other, unless, you know, I'm stupid and I interpreted it wrong. But let me find this screenshot, because I have it saved. I have many screenshots, and I will be reading them.
Look up the date.
Oh, I have it saved in a folder. Don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I said, you know, slide up, say something to me, and he was one of the people that replied on Snapchat, and he was basically like, you mean something to me. And then I replied to it in the story, because, you know, on if you know, you know, like, people would say something, you kind of like post the reply and like say something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I think I know who this is. And then he slid up on it, and he was like, yeah, you're right, it is me.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, after that, it was kind of like, oh, so I guess he does like me, question mark. So this is like June, right? So June 2019.
Mm-hmm.
June 2019. So
that's when Trey graduated.
Oh my god. Damn.
4 years.
Wow.
I told him, I said, it's been 4 years. That's crazy. He's so old.
He's going to be going to his 10-year reunion soon. Not to be morbid. God, this fucking mic.
He's only 21, by the way. He's not actually old.
Yeah. that was
even though I just said he graduated in 2019.
That was a joke. But yeah, what am I talking about? June. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we're talking with each other, and I go on vacation to Florida, like mid-June. Not every year, but this year I did. And,
Hey! She goes, every year, queen!
I wish. No. But, we went, and I spent a lot of the vacation, like, texting him and, like, flirting and shit still. So that's when we kind of, like, it kind of picked up. And, you know, I was like, okay, I'm just going to say it. And I was like, you know, I really like you. Like, are we? And he was just like, I'm not ready to label anything yet. But he's like, I really do like you. And I was like, oh, what is this? Because I've never, like, been in that situation or really felt like that. Like, I've had people kind of, I guess, flirt with me and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were just beating around the bush and kind of just being assholes, but yeah. So after the vacation, I was kind of like, okay, you know, like, I was like, I kind of have, like, low-key have a boyfriend, but also, like, not really. You know what I mean? Like, innocence at the time. Like, I was fresh out of 11th grade, and it was just, I don't know. Like, I considered him my boyfriend. I don't know if he felt the same at that time, but, yeah, so we talked for the rest of June, you know, continue with the flirting shit, blah, 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 blah. And then July hit, and I was kind of like, well, you know, you're coming to high school, and, like, I can, you know, help you out with shit, because, I mean, going into being a senior. And I don't want people to make fun of me for being like, oh, you're that senior who talked to a freshman. Because it's like, as much as I don't want it to sound bad, I mean, like I said, I can recognize now that it wasn't the smartest thing I did. And that, you know, I probably should have just let it be and just, like, left it alone.
I mean, you didn't do anything sexual,
No, exactly.
which is, like,
and
the
that's
main
my thing
part.
Nothing sexual happened. I was just
That's usually when it gets
and I think,
gray.
I think it's how people interpret it, but like I said, there was nothing sexual about it. Nothing happened. Nothing.
Yeah.
So the flirting did consist of us talking about stuff.
I'm sorry. The problem with seniors dating freshmen is that they usually coax them into doing sexual things with them. And that's not what he did. He was actually just, like, going for, like, a good, like, friend, like, a relationship.
A relationship.
You were going for a friendship, and he wanted to be. Well, not he wanted to be, but he was the one that was like, I love you.
Yeah. And it was kind of like I think we both genuinely liked each other. But, you know, things kind of did, like, conversations did turn sexual, but nothing happened. So it's like, I feel like it's, like, right on the line of gray area. Where it's like, and like I said, I'm older now, and I can look back on it and be in disgust and say that was wrong. And that I'm glad that it stopped. And acknowledge that it wasn't the best thing that I did. But, I mean, it was a genuine thing. Like, I had feelings for him. He had feelings for me, I think. You know.
I think.
Yeah. I keep saying that because, like, still to this day, I don't know if he was just fucking with me. But it's like, why are you going to waste your own fucking time fucking with somebody for 6 months?
People do that, though, because they have no lives.
Also because they're secretly gay.
Yeah.
I think he's bisexual, but I don't know. I still don't know. He's an asshole now. Well, he was an asshole before, but he's like, specifically an asshole now. So, continuing on, just because I don't want to come off like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want... No, the camera's on there, so we're fine.
Oh, lit.
Yeah.
Lit.
I don't want to come off wrong, and I don't want other people to see it coming off wrong. Like, I'm not telling you how to interpret it. You can interpret it the way you want to.
Yeah.
But there was no implied, like, hurtfulness or anything. Yeah. So, July, you know, we talk, and I'm just like, hey, you're coming to the school, let's, you know, like, I can show you around, I can tell you where everything's at, you know. I was just trying to hang out with him, because I was like, if I'm genuinely, even if it didn't work out in the relationship, it would have been nice to have a friend type thing. So, I genuinely, like, came at this in the friendship way instead of, like, the love way. Like I said, I had love for him, but I came at it more friendly than, like, lovely. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but so it kind of stayed at the same level of, like, us flirting and subtly being, like, sexual, but also not doing anything, because we never hung out. Never. Not once. Never, ever, ever. The only time we actually were physically in the same area with each other was at school, with other people around, and nothing ever happened. Nothing.
Yeah.
One thing, but I don't consider it sexual.
You just hugged, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not sexual. You just hugged.
No. And it was like, we'll get to it. So, end of July, something happened. So I guess we had, like, a little fight. Like, I, like, kind of remember it. But basically, we were, like, kind of fighting, but, like, kind of not. And I was, like, said it was, like, I called him a bitch or something, but, like, low-key, instead of, like, you're a bitch! Like, I wasn't like that. I was like, you're a bitch. Like, you know? And he got so fucking, like, mad. He was like, don't call me a bitch. And he blocked me on everything. And I was, like, crying my eyes out. I'm like, I didn't even mean it in that way. Like, I literally was like, here we go. Like, we're losing another fucking person. Like, I thought I was the issue in that situation because I called him a bitch. I'm like, are you really that insecure? Like, looking back on him because I called you a bitch?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
No, because, not, like, one of Trey's friends, he, like, well, do that? No. Well, I don't want to say that because I know they don't watch, I don't think they watch this shit, but, like, I don't know. It's not, like, none of the ones that, like, are here. I don't know. I don't want to say, well, it's just, like, there is, one of his friends is, like, kind of bipolar, and, like, he did that one time, like, Trey, like, was just, like, messing around with him, or, like, he said something to him, and then, like, he, like, deleted him off everything.
Yeah.
Like, deleted him off of, like,
also,
everything.
If you're mentally ill, get help, please.
Yeah, he does. He's just got some
problems.
I don't know. I don't want to. It's not my place to say, and I don't want to say anything because, like, I love his friends. Like, they're all so sweet to me. But
yeah,
no beef, no tea. Love y'all.
But anyways, what was I? Oh yeah, so I called him a bitch, and basically he blocked me for, like, the day. And this was the day I went to Picklesburg with my mom and her friend, and I was just sitting there, like, crying, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong? We're recording again!
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think where I left off. I was talking about wanting to be...
You hugged.
No, I was talking about, like, August. Picklesburg.
Picklesburg, you were crying.
Yeah,
Picklesburg.
So we're at Picklesburg, and this was after he blocked me on everything. And I was crying, and basically my mom was like, snap out of it. You know, it's just a man. And she was so right for that. I should have just, like, I should have just listened to him or her at that time. So August came, school starts, and oh yeah, he added me back that night and was like, I'm sorry. Red flag.
Yeah,
so
okay.
He added me back that night.
Yeah, okay.
And he was like, I'm sorry, you know, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, you know, don't do that again. That was kind of like, I literally was like...
That is a little bitch move, though. That's such a bitch move.
No, but I said this to him. I was like, if we have issues, just talk to me. Like, I just want to talk type thing. Like, if we have issues, just talk. Have always been that person. If we got beef, we'll talk. If you're going to be a little bitch, I'm going to fucking call you a little bitch. So, August hits, school starts, and on the first day of school, we saw each other, like, in the halls. So, I was kind of like, hey, like... I think I just, like, smiled at him, and I texted him, I was like, hey, I just saw you, haha, and he was like, oh, was that you? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, haha. And I was like, cool. So the next few days, we see each other, and then I was kind of like, you know, I'm in this class, this period, and you walk past, like, we literally, like, talked about each other's schedules, because it's like, oh, we can, like, smile at each other through the door, and, you know, stupid shit. But... it's cute to me. I like small shit like that, where it's like, you pass each other in the hallway, you say hi, you smile at each other.
Yeah.
Like, I do that with my friends. Why wouldn't I do that with somebody I like? It was nice. It was good. And you know, we didn't have an issue. We're talking a lot at this point, and sorry, I'm pulling up the receipts.
I figured.
So we're doing good. You know, we're snapping each other every day, and I will say, looking back on it, I was really, really clingy. But that's circling back on the thing where it's like being in love with being in love, where it's kind of like, ugh, like you feel like every second you need to be with them. I'm so glad I'm not like that anymore. Like I need my space.
Right?
You need your space.
Yeah, totally.
I hate that.
No,
Looking back,
right?
But
I could never.
Another thing I want to point out. So the way our buses lined up. Yes, I took the bus because I didn't have my license.
I took the bus in senior year too. Well, no.
The way our buses were is like the school, you would kind of walk down to it, and we had this like big lot where all the buses would line up like 3 or 4 to like a line, and mine was like the last row, but it was the first bus in the last row, and his was the 3rd row, which was the one before mine. He was like the second to last bus. So I sat on the left side of the bus, he sat on the right, and kind of like every time the bus would pass each other, because the first row would go, then the second, we would kind of like smile at each other or wave. I think we blew a kiss one time. It was stupid. But, like, that was the thing. That was the extent of the relationship. Air quotes. Relationship. So, September hits. And I'm like, okay, you know, I've kind of been, like, trying to coax him into, like, wanting to FaceTime or hang out. You know, like, do something. Because it would be nice to, like, actually see somebody. Other than my 2 friends.
Right.
Not that I don't love my friends. But, you know, I have this person that we're paying so much attention to. Why are we not hanging out?
It's different when it's, like, a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. Like, love your friends, but, like, when you're in love, it's
you have to balance it all, too. It's like you can't make more time for one person than another.
Oh, yeah, no.
Especially if you, like, genuinely love them.
Oh, yeah.
So September hits, and you know, I'm kind of like, oh, do you want to FaceTime tonight? And he's like, I have homework, and it was always kind of like an excuse. And then he'd be like, I'm gonna call you, and then he never did. And yeah. So another thing I will say, and this was not me, he did send some pictures. It was never of the front. It was always kind of like cheeky pictures, like stupid ones that you would send like your best friend, like of your butt or whatever, like stupid pictures like that. And it was kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? So I said this off camera when the camera stopped, but feeling like I need to have the same energy because it's like, oh, is he not gonna like me if I don't act the same way type thing. And I will say, he initiated all of that. I never did. Like, he was the one who flirted first. He's the one who DM'd me first. He's the one who sent pictures first. I never sent pictures. Because fuck that. Ugh. So, like, I would, like, kind of reply to him and be like, oh, haha, and kind of, like, play along with it. But at the same time, I was like, you know what I mean? It was gray area. So, and I never really coaxed him for pictures. I was kind of like, you know, whatever, you know. 'Cause I don't want it to sound bad. I keep saying that, but I really don't want it to sound bad. Because, honestly, I don't see it that way. And I hope other people don't see it that way, where it was kind of like I was grooming him or anything. Because I really, really, really was not. I never went into this, like, wanting pictures from him, wanting to have sex with him. Like, nothing. Never. I just wanted somebody...
Just in it for a relationship.
Exactly. I just wanted somebody I could genuinely love.
Which, again, is how most seniors and older people are.
Yeah.
Most older men.
Yeah.
It's typically straight men.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I keep saying I don't want it to be interpreted the wrong way.
Yeah.
So, this is about the first week, like, end of August, beginning of September. So, you know, nothing ever really happened. And I did say earlier, we did hug. And I don't consider that sexual because, like, nothing... It's not a sexual thing. It might be, like, romantic at most. I don't consider hugging somebody sexual.
No.
I mean, it's, like, physical, but it's not sexual.
If you make it sexual.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
But, so, basically one day I was like, hey, because he texted me, he's like, I'm making up a class. I'm in the room next to yours. I was in a class in a wing, and there's a bathroom, like, right next to it. So I was kind of like, hey, you know, I'm running to the bathroom. Do you want to, like, talk? You know, like, face to face. Because, like, I knew he kind of didn't want to be seen with me and also kind of didn't want to. So I was like, there's never anybody in this bathroom. And this sounds shady, and I swear it's not. But I was like...
No, I get it, because he was also just probably not
He was scared.
out yet.
He was scared. And I feel for him, but at the same time, he's a horrible person for what he did.
Yeah.
To me. Like, I don't know. There's just, like, the whole situation is just fucked. And that's why it's so traumatic to me. It's because, like, not only the shit that he said, but it's like, I know I shouldn't have said and done some of the stuff I did. And it's just like, I regret it. The whole thing. And I wish I could take it back, but I can't. But at the same time, he keeps starting shit. So I keep ending it. And so basically I was like, hey, when you're done, do you want to meet in the bathroom and kind of like talk for a sec? And he was like, yeah, like I'll text you when I'm done. And I was like, okay. So it kind of happened. And then he was like, okay, you know, I'm leaving. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, I'll see you there. And he was washing his hands when I came in. And I was like, hey, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Like, stupid shit. Like,
yeah.
How's your day going? How's classes? How's your test? Blah, blah, blah. Because I genuinely cared, right? Like at that moment, that was the peak of it, where it's like, I wanted the best for him. I loved him. You know, and I wanted to be not just friends, but I wanted something after high school. Because like I said, I never wanted to do anything at least until after he graduated. I never thought about it, though. I really never did. Like, I loved him, but I never thought about him in that way, really.
Yeah.
But it kind of happened, and then we chatted for a minute, and then I was just like, do you want to hug?
They hugged. It happened.
Yeah. I was like, do you want to hug? And he seemed kind of hesitant. I was like, you don't have to if you don't want to. Like, I was like, fully like, if you don't want to, that's completely fine, you know. And he kind of like, wait a second. I like started to turn to walk away, and he was like, wait. And I was like, I kind of like let him initiate it. And it kind of happened. And like I said, it's not weird. It's a hug, right?
Yeah.
So it happened. I was kind of like really happy after that. I was like, wow, okay, like we're starting to make progress. You know, this is nice. It's like, you know, maybe in a few months now we can go grab out something to eat and like pretend we're friends. Like at that time, that's the way I saw it. I was like, you know, baby steps. Like I'm helping him. You know what I mean? And a few days later, that bitch that I was hanging out with, and this is so funny to me now that she was there when he messaged me, and she was there for the fall of it all. Like, so she texted me, and long story short, so I got on my bus, and I was looking for him, and I didn't see him. Because it's kind of like we, at that point, like, didn't walk with each other, but we're kind of like front and behind each other-ish. So we'd kind of like walk-ish with each other, but not really acknowledge each other. I know. I love being the secret. So I didn't see him. So I'm just like, whatever. So I'm walking to my bus, and I didn't see it until the buses started leaving. So he waved at me, I waved, blah. So as soon as, and you know what I'm talking about, when the buses turn right to go down the hill, as soon as we got to that stop sign, I look at my phone. I guess I didn't get like the notification for it, but like when I looked at my phone, the notification was there, and she was like, please don't be mad at me. And I was like, the fuck? Like, what did this bitch do? So she was like, he was hugging, I think she said hugging a girl or kissing, something like that, in front of his bus. She's like, I saw him. And he snapped me right after my heart sank after she said that. He snapped me. And I left his ass on open. And I think he knew, because when I didn't answer a minute later, he was like, what's wrong? Like, he was like freak out mode. Like, what's wrong? Like, and I sent, like, I didn't take a picture of me. I took a picture of, like, the ground when I snapped him. And he was like, please don't be mad at, like, genuine man when they get caught cheating, like, like, crying and being fucking stupid. So, basically, it was just this until I got home. And when I got home, I kind of, like, it, like, set in. And I was crying. I was crying so bad. I was like, you know, I can't believe you fucking did, like, to myself. Like, so much. And he kind of texted me and was like, you know, I have the screenshots of it, of him saying, like, she's my friend and it's just help and blah, 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 blah. Like, bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So... Yeah, a screenshot of a snap of him saying, babe, I love you so much. I know I don't say it that much, but I'm telling you the truth. This was 2 weeks before that. The cheating thing. Yeah. But, yeah, so the way the story goes after that, I kind of, like, don't remember, but kind of remember, because, I mean, it's, like, heavy trauma, and I don't want to remember it, but I kind of do, but I kind of don't. So, you know, he was kind of like, and he convinced me. He was like, you know, she's just my friend, and blah, 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 blah. And I, like, didn't believe him, but, like, I wanted to believe him, because it's like, I just want to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? It's like, how could I treat myself like that, first of all? Like, he's cheating. Fuck him. Cheating. You know?
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want to call it. So, he says that, and I'm just like, okay. So we don't talk for the rest of the night, and then the next morning, I'm like, you know, I'm sorry I freaked out. I said I'm sorry that I freaked out, and I was just like, I love you, and, you know, we'll work on it, and then he unadded me. And I remember, because you want to know, it was driving past your house when he unadded me. My bus went past your house.
Girl.
I know. And I just remember...
That's crazy.
Like, my heart sank for the second time, but I remember saying to myself, I was like, fuck him.
No, the the feeling when they
your heart,
unadd
like,
you.
sinks. It's literally, like, it felt like
it's like a heartbreak. It's kind of like, oh my God.
It felt like a dumbbell was plummeting through my chest. It was awful. But it's like, it's not even losing somebody who loves you. It's losing, like, how much time you've spent with that person. Exactly. How much, like, effort you've put into that. And it's just like...
to throw it all away.
Exactly. That's what the trauma of it all for me is, like... And it's all these unanswered questions. Like, was he really just fucking me the whole time? Was this a joke to him? Did he genuinely feel like that?
He'll probably be watching this.
Who fucking knows?
He's probably watching this right now, because he does watch all the shit that you do.
Then, if he is watching it, I'm going to say, I hate you. I hate what you did. I hate what you said. You probably hate me too. I know you fucking hate me. But we were different people back then with living two different lives. We're complete fucking opposite people, and we still are. I hate what you did and said just as much as you probably hate what I did and said, but I don't want to let that ruin my life. Not that, like, as much as it would be nice to have somebody in my life that, you know, like, we did have genuine conversations. As much as it would be nice to have you in my life if you weren't an asshole, I don't think I could do it now, because I've been through so much shit, and it just feels like backtracking at that point. It's like, why am I going to go back and make myself miserable? It's like, but honestly, I genuinely do still love him.
Yeah.
I genuinely do still love him. It might not be the type of love it was at the time, you know, but it's like, I see a little bit of me and him, just as most people do, like gay men, like going through situations like that. I don't know if he's gay or bisexual or if he was exploring, but to make me his kind of puppet, like his exploration tool, was really shitty of him. And it's like, if you didn't want something like that, first of all, why are you going to call me babe? Because I have the screenshots of him calling me babe.
No, literally.
And all this fucking bullshit and all this smoke up the ass that he fucking flew. And it's just like, why did I let him gaslight me so much? Like, seriously. Seriously. And it's like, why didn't I just walk away? Or just keep it as a friendship? Like, and now that I'm grown up, I can look back on it. And I don't know. It could have been different. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Stuff happens for a reason.
Yeah. But what fucks me over the most, and this was, like, the biggest thing for me, it's like, I'm very a person who's, like, not just nostalgic, but also, like, some words cut deeper than knives for me. So, like, the words never and again and, like, past, present, they always cut deep for me. And I would tell myself and kind of gaslight, well, not gaslight, because it was the truth, but I was like, I'm never going to talk to this person ever again.
Yeah.
I'm never going to feel like this ever again. I'm never going to have, like, and it was, I just tell myself that every day. So it got to the point where, and I think we talked about this in episode 2, about, you know, trying to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the first-ish times that I kind of did it, and I was like, I was genuinely, like, at the time, I was like, yeah, I there's no point in me living anymore.
Yeah.
Because this person made me feel like this. So, after all this shit happens, I know I'm kind of, like, dusting over it, I find out that he's going to prom with this girl that he, quote-unquote, cheated on me with, whatever you want to call it. And the shitty thing is, I went to Applebee's that night with my mom.
Wait, how old was this girl?
Not prom, homecoming.
I was going to say, I'm like, what?
Sorry, homecoming. He went to homecoming with her. The night of homecoming, I was at Applebee's with my mom. He FaceTimed me.
Girl.
After he blocked me and shit. So, we were talking about, he blocked me while I was driving past Kate's house in the bus. And, at school, I guess people were fucking, like, on his side with it. Not to say people can't pick sides, but it was kind of a stupid thing. It's like, why are you getting involved in my... Because I guess, like, people found out that, like, we were talking and all that. Because his girlfriend found out. Somebody may have DM'd her. But... I don't remember. I did message her. But whatever. So... I told her, because I was like, girl, he's been talking to me, you know, do what you do. I was trying to look out for her. Like, at the time, I was pissed at her, but I'm like, it's not her fault, it's his.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't know just as much as I did. And, I don't know, I still feel like an anger, but it's not towards her, it's towards him. Like, and I've talked to one of his recent exes, and she has confirmed that he's still an asshole, and, like, he's, like, a dick now. Like, absolute horrible person. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he's so very, like, the TikToks about guys that are just, like, wrecks. Like, he's a disaster. Like, he may have his shit together for school and shit, but he emotionally, mentally is a disaster. Disaster. He's manipulative. He's so, like, unempathetic and, like, so emotionless. Where it's just, like, he's kind of just, like, this... Like, he just exists. There's, like, nothing to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Full offense. But, yeah. So, the day after, it was a Monday that I caught him. Tuesday, we go in, you know, kind of everybody's talking shit. And kind of, like, low-key talking about both me and him. So, we shared the same counselor. And she found out. And then I don't know if his parents found out, but I met with my counselor and she was like, yeah, don't try to talk to him ever again or you're going to be in big trouble. And I'm like, girl, for what? Like, because your son is gay? You're really going to, like, or whatever the fuck he is? So, people started turning it on me and they're like, you know, you fucking this and that. Like, I'm just like, that is completely untrue, because I have every single fucking screenshot of every conversation. I made sure to save everything we talked about, and I did, and it got to the point where people were like fucking turning on me and being like, like, you're a this, you're a that, you know, you're a horrible person. How could you treat someone like that? I'm like, girl, be fucking for real.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point where, like, my counselor's like, girl, are you okay? And I was like, everybody's fucking, like, saying shit about me. And so not true. So that night, I was just like, I've had enough of this. I posted screenshots of our conversation, but I blurred out his name because I wanted people to know the facts, because some people didn't know it was him. They were just like, in general, they're like, oh, he's talking to a freshman. And I'm like, okay, here's the screenshots of everything we've talked about. Look through it, read it. And people fucking did. And that's the most people that have ever seen my Snapchat story. And it was bullshit. So after that, he messaged me in the morning. And these are the screenshots that I have of him messaging me and saying the shit that he did. So let's begin. So the last text I sent him was, I love you. And he said, I love you too. And then I woke up at 6:11 a.m. to, you're so stupid, you know that? Stop, please. You're making everything in my life so bad. And then that's the same one. And then I said, why? Did somebody confront you? And he said, kind of, thanks. You're messing everything up. Why? I said, I'm messing everything up. I said, did you actually even love me? And then he said, why are you doing this, bro? You're worse than I actually thought you would turn out to be. And that's the thing that kind of fucked me, where it's like, was he faking this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was this an attention thing? Was this a whatever fucking ploy it was, you know? So I said to that, I said, because you hurt me, and I want you to understand that. People are saying shit, and it's not true. And he said, I can't hurt you because I'm someone. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, what?
What does that mean? So, I said, you can hurt me, and you did. Why would you do this to me? Were you fucking with me the whole time, or did you actually care? Asking the real fucking questions. So, his reply after that. So, he didn't reply to that. That was at, like, 7. So, like, I'm on the bus by now and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, he texted me at 8:16. He said, why can't you leave me alone, buddy? Please and thanks. And that's the last message he ever sent me. So, I'm blocked at this point. You know, I posted this shit, and people are kind of like, what the fuck is going on? So, I meet with my counselor, and that's when she was like, you know, don't fucking try to talk to him or anything, because she didn't say. I'm like, is the FBI coming or some shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, she made it seem like something so crazy. And I was just like, I'm done with him anyways. And I told her, I was like, well, if he meets with you, because she said she was going to talk to him, I was like, tell him that I love him, but this is bullshit. You know what I mean? And I don't know if she ever did. And that's kind of where it left off. And it's like, I've had no answers since then. And I've kind of been, like, stuck with my own devices to think about everything and kind of, I don't know. It was awful.
Yeah.
This is long. I'm sorry, but, like,
no, it's okay.
It's a juicy.
I feel bad for all the yawning. Excuse me. I woke up early this morning, and then I'm having a day. So.
A day.
I'm having a day.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's like I said, I'm turning 21 this year.
Yeah.
I could not be happier where I'm at. Like, not just in life, but, like, with myself. Because it's like, I'm in a very, like, I don't need other people to make me happy type place. Mm-hmm. Especially with relationships. Because it's like, fuck being in a relationship right now. Seriously. I love you and Trey. I really do. But it's like, being a gay man, it's very toxic. It's very wrong.
No, yeah, I understand.
And we talked about this in an episode before about, like, the LGBTQ community, especially gay people, expecting you to be a certain size or a certain way or look a certain way, talk a certain way. Just like that's very like opposite of my values. Like I just, and this is the thing, I never would have dated. I almost said his name. I never would have dated him in like a different lifetime, because it's like I said, we were opposites. He was a basketball player, like a very popular basketball player, and I was just this kind of musician nobody. Not that I'm nobody, but you know. And it was like when worlds collide type thing. But I will still say to this day, he messaged me first. He was sexual first. Not saying that being sexual period is good, but I don't know. Like I said earlier, it's a whole fucked situation, and I'm glad that it's over, and I regret it happening, but I don't know. I just hope he learned something from it, because I know I fucking did. I learned that people are fucking rats, and that I need to love myself and not rely on other people to make me happy. It's taken a few years, but...
Okay.
I really hope, I kind of, like, for most of this, didn't, like, really talk into the mic, so, like, I know you can hear me, but it's probably not, like, fantastic. What the fuck ever. You know?
Yeah.
We got emotional this one. No, but as we were saying, yeah, those were our stories. This is probably going to be a really long one. I'll edit it, like, the parts that are off, but, yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you. Hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah, we're hoping
we didn't get to the Reddit stories because ours just ADHD people telling stories is just like an hour long.
Dedicate an episode to just doing Reddit stuff.
We definitely will.
Really funny.
We could try to. We should do that next episode.
Yeah, we still need to do ghost stories too.
Yeah,
that one's gonna be so much fun. I love ghost stories.
Yeah.
That one we can include like Reddit ghost stories, because I only have like.
I was gonna say I don't really have any memorable ones.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you're enjoying the rest of the episodes. Comment down below if you have a story about an ex that you have, or just a bad relationship, a bad hookup, you know.
Yeah.
Anything.
Let us know. Make us feel better about our stories.
Yeah. Please.
I'm sitting up now at the very end.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah, me too. I'm like sucking in my stomach.
Girl.
Yeah. But one more time, as a fair warning, nothing sexual happened between me and my ex.
Yeah, just want to preface that.
Yeah. I don't want it to come off wrong, because it's not, and there's not intentions.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, we'll
Thank
see you next
for watching.
time.
See ya.
Bye.
He's like turning up. Okay. Turn up.
Turn
up the track and party. Do you remember that dance moves? I just want to dance. Turn up the track and party.
Okay.